the strategies that they put in place to make sure they were capitalizing on social proof throughout their entire user journey, as well as different elements that you can potentially add into your strategy. Maybe you're doing some of these already, but there are other little items that you could be adding in. So hopefully we can all learn something today. Born Primitive is an athleisure brand that we work with, or athletic wear as well. And so they were previously on Yotpo and they were experiencing significant difficulties trying to customize their front end widget. And whenever they tried to customize it, because they had this custom theme, they were getting a ton of errors back. Reviews often weren't showing on their site, and it was a real mess. Now, there was a particular concern from Born Primitive of switching platforms because they were worried that they might lose the 10,000 reviews that they had spent many years collecting via their old reviews platform. So after a bit of back and forth, they decided, yes, look, let's make this move to Okendo. It's going to be better for the business overall. We really believe that the ROI on solid social proof is going to improve our business. And by making that switch, they actually saw a 3.3 times increase in PDP conversion rate, a 60% reduction in tech costs, and a 74.29% increase in UGC generation rate. So we'll go through their strategies step by step, and I'll point out exactly how they were able to achieve these figures without having to lose any of their review content. So here's the Born Primitive website. You'll notice that Born Primitive is really good at utilizing social proof. So this is a recommendation widget that comes from Nosto, and they're feeding through the Okendo star ratings onto each of those products. They also have a media gallery here, or a little media widget on the homepage where it says over 33,000 five-star reviews. And then they've got this slider where you can view different reviews that are featured across multiple products on the site. So this is an Okendo reviews widget. This one, again, Nosto, just with Okendo stars being added. They also have this shoppable Instagram UGC widget right here. And this is done through 460, a partner of ours. So when anyone adds the tags Born Primitive in their Instagram feed, this comes through to 460, and then Born Primitive can tag their various products in that Instagram image. And you'll see again, the Okendo star ratings are coming through onto each of those products. And at every step of the way, this is adding additional social proof and credibility so that any new shoppers that might be hitting your website see, okay, there's a lot of other people that are shopping from Born Primitive and they really love these products. So it makes me more comfortable and more likely to make that purchase as a new shopper. So as we click in to a collections page, you'll notice the Okendo star ratings are being fed through to that collection. And then when you go into a product page, of course, we have the star ratings at the top of the PDP. We have another complete the look widget from Nosto feeding through those stars, as well as other customers we're interested in. There is a 460 widget with that particular product. And again, Okendo star ratings and reviews being fed through. And then they have a really robust reviews widget. Now, this is something that Okendo is known really well for. A 5-star review with some text tells you that a customer loves a product, but it doesn't necessarily tell you anything else. And we're also used to seeing those reviews where it's like, amazing, I love it. And that's great, but it's not really telling me much about that product that I'm interested in buying. Okendo uses product attribute sliders where we're able to highlight the key selling points of the product or of the brand without relying on the reviewer putting those items in the body of their review. So when we hit this PDP, straight away we see, okay, the quality and comfort is excellent and the sizing is true to size. That's really helpful when you're looking to maximize the conversion rate and ensure that people are seeing those key selling points about your products. Also worth calling out here is that we're showcasing a lot of information or zero-party data that the customer has given us. So size purchased, size normally worn, height, and performance are particularly valuable for shoppers at Born Primitive. So this helps individuals to align their purchase decisions with people that have similar characteristics to them. So if I'm a size extra large, and well, maybe I normally wear a large and I'm looking at Craig's review here. If Craig has a similar body type to me, I'm going to feel more confident in purchasing one size and making that purchase at the end of the day, rather than purchasing two sizes and potentially sending back the size that doesn't fit. We see that happening quite a lot, especially in apparel and footwear. Customers will purchase two sizes with the full intention of sending back the size that doesn't fit, especially if you have a great returns policy. And so that can be really annoying, especially during holiday periods or sales season, when maybe you sell out of stock and then 2 or 3 weeks later, you get 30% returns. We want to minimize returns as much as possible. So if we're able to provide detailed information on our shoppers so that customers are able to make better informed decisions, and then that's absolutely what we're going to do. Again, with that, the photo and video UGC is so important because, as Born Primitive likes to point out, people in athleisure or athletics apparel, people that are working out, they all have different body shapes and sizes, and fit is extremely important. So if you're able to compare your images or your UGC to the kind of fit and body type that you have, you're more confident about that purchase again. So here we've got this aggregate at the top, so we can easily click through photos and videos and we'll see those reviews pop up alongside. And again, this is just helping to increase that PDP conversion rate. And as we saw at the start, by implementing Okendo on their PDPs, they saw a 3.3 times increase in conversion rate, which is huge. And it just goes to show that these robust reviews really do go a long way. And all of this is completely customizable. There's no code necessary as well. That's something that's a real priority for Okendo. We want to make our reviews widgets completely flexible and really customizable so that you can create an on-site experience that fits your brand. Too often I see reviews widgets from our competitors, and site after site, it always looks the same. I can see, oh, this is a reviews widget X, reviews widget Y, whereas Okendo allows you to create this really unique experience without necessarily writing code. If you have an agency, you're welcome to have them write code, or someone technical in-house, of course, but it's not a requirement. And something probably important to point out here, I really love the strategy that Born Primitive responds to their reviews. I always recommend that brands publish a variety of positive and negative reviews. No one believes it when they see 1,000 5-star reviews. You need to have some variation in there. And if someone leaves you a negative review and you can see that you've responded to them and you've provided a good customer experience overall, that makes new shoppers more comfortable from purchasing from you as well. So I'll point out a couple other variations that I've got here. This is Ilia, a cosmetics firm that we work with. And you'll notice they are using the same widget, but it looks completely different. They're collecting information around skin type, skin tone, undertone, concern, and age range. And they are also responding to this negative review that's come in, and they're mitigating that negative experience and hopefully turning that customer into a raving fan after that interaction. We've also got Moon Juice here, another wonderful Okendo brand, and they're collecting information around age range, gender, wellness concerns, and mood, sleep, energy, focus, immunity. Something that's really interesting is that we allow you to sync this zero-party data into your Klaviyo or Omnisend customer data profile, and then you can build out segments and send targeted campaigns based on any of this information that you're collecting. So you can imagine if I have a wellness product and I see that this person they're looking to boost their mood, sleep, energy, focus. If I mention those keywords in the subject line, or if I recommend products that are relevant to their specific concerns, then we're going to have a much higher cut through and a higher chance of that click to conversion. So we know how important personalization is, and the fact that your customers are willingly giving you this information is quite powerful, and it allows you to provide a better overall customer experience when you are sending product recommendations to people based on their actual interests. So I've got the back end of Okendo open here. It's very straightforward, self-explanatory type of platform. Of course, you've got all of the normal moderation, things that you would expect. I would be setting up auto publishing for anything that comes in 4 or 5-star reviews. But if they have media attached, I'll block the auto publishing and make sure that someone from my team has the opportunity to review that photo or video before it is published. Anything that comes in 3 stars or less, I will set it up to integrate with my help desk and make sure that my team gets an automatic ticket created and they know to come in and mitigate that negative experience. So to show you how simple it is to change up the displays, you would be going to this displays tab, and you have 5 out-of-the-box templates here that you can choose from, and they are already look quite customized. But then beyond that, you can simply go into styling and change up anything from star size, color, border, navigation, spacing, percentage, and recommend this product icon colors. So there's a lot that you can do here, and it's as simple as toggling something on or off, or putting in a custom color code. Now, a great tip that I can recommend for you to increase that customer UGC that you're creating, like Born Primitive did, is offering incentives. So we allow you to tier your incentive strategy based on the actions that you would like consumers to take. So perhaps you offer a 10% off coupon for anyone that leaves you a text review. And maybe if they leave a photo review, that bumps up to 15% off. Perhaps you'd really like to collect more video content. So maybe if someone adds a video content, they get 20% off for that coupon, and that's the maximum. You do have the ability to also put in like a minimum purchase amount. So maybe it's 20% off your next purchase of $40 or more, and that helps to increase your AOV as well as customer lifetime value. You can put that expiry date in there as well. Now, a nice tip that I always recommend is if you're using our Klaviyo integration, remind someone that they have a coupon that's going to expire in, say, 30 days. We always see a nice bump in revenue generated when people know that they've got a coupon that's about to expire and they want to take advantage of it. Now, if you would like to implement a strategy more similar to Born Primitive, they use our integration with Loyalty Lion. We do have Smile.io and Rise.ai and out-of-the-box integrations for loyalty points, but Born Primitive offers 100 loyalty points for someone to write a review. If they submit a photo, they get 200 loyalty points, and if they submit a video, again, it's 200 loyalty points. So that's a really nice way to keep people engaged with the brand, make sure you're providing some value back to them so they are compelled to leave you a review, and then you can, again, help to increase that AOV and that CLTV. Okay, now another thing that I would point out here is sequences. So to date, Born Primitive uses an email sequence to request reviews from their shoppers. We trigger from when the order is fulfilled or from when the order is delivered. So if you would like to send your customers review requests a number of days after delivery, you can simply update it in Okendo. Maybe the wait time is 3 days after delivery. And if your carrier is updating that delivery status in Shopify, that will work perfectly. In case there are some carriers that you don't work with or that you work with that aren't updating the status, then you can put this after fulfillment if delivery unknown. And then we have review requests that go out to your customers. So I do have an example here from Born Primitive. This is what their review request looks like. It's very customized. It's really on brand for them. They've got the owner and the other co-owner there. Tell us what you think. There's a nice little message here from them. And then you have those review stars and products that you purchased coming through. When you click on one of these stars, it takes you through to our optimized review form. And this will be pre-filled out. You can say, amazing, I love this product. Yes, I would recommend it. Agree and continue. And that's where I'm fed those different key selling points or the different attributes that we're collecting from our consumers. Again, these are all completely customizable. There are no limitations, no boundaries, no code required. You can have as many as you want or as few as you want. I usually recommend sticking between, say, 4 and 8 items and thinking carefully about what kind of information you want to collect from your user base that you can leverage across your other marketing campaigns and audiences.
Just a quick heads up, Rachel, we got 2 minutes left.
That's perfect. So again, using that strategy, we were able to increase the UGC generation rate by 74.29%. Make sure you're putting an incentive in, send out timely review requests, customize them to fit your brand, and then you'll see a large influx of traffic coming in, or review generation, I should say. And then how was Born Primitive able to reduce their tech costs by 60%? It was by our simple month-to-month pricing. It is all very straightforward, pay as you go. Merchants stay with Okendo because they love the platform and not because they're locked into any long and unreasonable contracts. It's pretty much order-based, and then you get different feature inclusions based on these packages as well. Power is most popular. You get our Klaviyo integration. You also get a dedicated customer success manager and up to 5,000 orders per month. And then finally, we are doing a Black Friday, Cyber Monday readiness offer. We want to make sure the brands that we work with are super dialed in to capitalize on all of the traffic that will be coming in over the Black Friday, Cyber Monday period. So if you would like to implement Okendo, you will receive your first 90 days of Okendo free on our growth plan and up. So that's $99 per month and up. And you don't need to pay anything until 2022, no strings attached. Very confident that you love the product. So I think there's a link in the chat there if you'd like to claim the offer, or feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, Rachel Tyers, and I will be happy to get you set up. Thank you so much for your time.
Rachel, thank you so much. That was incredible. Hope everybody learned a lot. I actually had questions lined up for you, but we are like exactly on schedule. So I may throw those in the Discord, and hopefully we can chat about those quickly.
Thank you, Blair.
Awesome. Thanks for coming, Rachel. We really appreciate it. Now, according to the schedule, we are ready for a quick 5-minute break. Now's a great time to run to the washroom before our next speaker, or grab a quick snack. When we get back from the break, we will have Ed from Octane AI to talk to us a little bit about zero-party data, all the buzz these days. So go do what you need to do. We'll be back here in 5 minutes, give or take. We'll be working on some stuff on the back end here to get the YouTube stream up and running perfectly. Thanks so much. See you in a couple minutes. For those that are just joining us, we are just doing a 5-minute break. There is about 90 seconds left in that break, and then we will be back with Ed from Octane. Okay, we are back and ready to go. We've got Ed from Octane. Octane is super cool, whether it is their quiz work or their SMS and Facebook messaging, on-site, off-site, they do it all. With the recent changes around iOS, they have also been championing first-party data, which everybody is talking about and is super necessary for brands this year, next year, and more into the future. Ed's here to talk to us a little bit about all of that. Ed, thanks so much for joining us. Super thrilled to have you. Take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Blair. Super excited to be here. I will give you a quick rundown on what Octane AI is. We are a e-commerce personalization platform for Shopify and Shopify Plus merchants. We allow brands to gather more information about their customers through a handful of features. Blair kind of referenced, we have conversational pop-ups, shop quiz, which I'll be talking about more, as well as SMS and Facebook Messenger features. So our entire goal is to empower merchants to power through the changes when it comes to third-party data restrictions and allow them to utilize zero-party data, data that's expressly given to you by your customers to offer a more customized, personalized experience throughout this shopping journey. So obviously right now, the problem is e-commerce brands are building their relationships on rented data. And what that means is that a lot of brands are relying on Facebook Pixel, tracking cookies across their site, and then blindly advertising or connecting with their customers through a wide array of channels, but without any of the backing information to do so in a way that the customer feels that it's a one-to-one relationship. And Apple, obviously, with the push of iOS 14 and now 15 coming out today, they are allowing everyone on an iOS device to choose if they want to be tracked across the internet. And based off of the initial data, I'm going to share my screen real quick. So based off of initial data, 96% of people have already opted out. And this means that 96% of people who shop via iPhone or iPad or even a Mac are not going to be seeing your ads if you're using third-party data to connect with them. Same goes for Google. They're already trying to end support for third-party cookies through the Chrome browser, which is obviously the largest market share browser across the world. They're delaying this to 2022, 2023, but it's still a good practice to end that reliance on this third-party data and then move to a point that allows you to build that actual relationship with your customers. And the best way that you can do that is through zero-party marketing and zero-party data. So however you attract new customers to your store, it allows you an opportunity to connect with them through an engaging question or posing yourself as a solution to a problem that they're experiencing right now. So what that looks like is, sorry, I got a ton of stuff on my screen. There we go. What that looks like is something like a conversational pop-up. So this is where a brand that we work with, Miracle Mink Hair, wants to figure out how can they help their customer as soon as they visit their site. Think of it as the same experience you have walking into a brick and mortar store. Yes, you can, if you're not really interested in buying, you can walk around, browse, and then, ask questions later on. But if you're going into a store for a specific need, but you don't know exactly what product's going to solve it, you're going to want to talk to a salesperson. And with e-commerce, that experience isn't quite there yet. So what we've unlocked for brands is a way to get that first question answered And we do this through a pop-up. And the difference between this and, say, a standard pop-up that the majority of brands are using is you're actually getting an actionable data point. And what that looks like here is, well, just let us know what you're shopping for. And it could be vitamins. And if you click through, this is where you capture email and get those points to kind of start that relationship with the brand. And the majority of shoppers who get to this page, 50% will actually submit their info because they've already engaged with that question and now they're interested. So if I were to put in my email, it's actually going to recommend a product with an add to cart button. So if you want a very straightforward experience, this is a great way to start capturing and building that zero-party data relationship with your customers. So now you're wondering, okay, well, we have this one data point. What's the use case? All of this data is now being created into a buyer profile within Octane AI, but also it's connecting with your email provider. So if you're like a lot of brands, if you're using Klaviyo, this is now connected to that customer. So you have that contact, and through a custom property, you have that answer to that question. And now, as you begin to send those nurture emails, you have that data point, and you can say, oh, you were interested in vitamins. We're going to only send you emails about vitamins because that's what we know you're interested in. And then throughout time, you offer them products that they are more likely to engage with and purchase. As they purchase, then you have that data point as well. So this is a great start for brands who are looking to learn more about their customers and that reliance on blind retargeting and remarketing efforts. Another one, Iconic Protein. When you're a food and bev company, you probably have a ton of flavors. And one thing that you're looking to figure out is, what is our top flavor? Like, I could tell you in brick and mortar, chocolate and vanilla are going to be the ones that you see most likely. But on their site, they sell a coffee flavor. They sell a cacao greens mix. So they have more to offer than what people seeing them in store might see. So they just want to figure out, what flavor preference do you have? Same idea. You can enter an email address. You can also enter SMS. This also works for if your brand is particularly good at SMS, capture a phone number, and the same information is going to port over, and then you can send SMS campaigns with the same segmentation and customization. So welcome code, and then 2 products, whether you want a pre-made shake in a bottle or if you want powder, they offer you both options right here. So one thing that we found is a lot of brands are generating a ton of revenue because it's engaging the customer right away. And Miracle Mint Care, that first company that we looked at here, since conversational pop-ups launched about 2 months ago, they've generated over $100,000 from this pop-up alone. So not only are they getting this really important data, they're also making a lot of revenue because it's allowing their customers to make a quick decision without having to go through filters or taxonomy or a bunch of products that they have to then click through, read descriptions. This is a great first step. So this, like I said, great first step, but you can advance past this to gain either more information that builds even smarter marketing campaigns. And this is where our shop quiz comes into play. Connected customers are looking for advice, recommendations, guidance. They want to know exactly what the best solution is for them. And why not take information that they're willing to give you and then offer just a perfect product. So this is Open Farm Pet. They are a natural pet food company, and they built a great quiz just to figure out, what's the perfect dog food or cat food for your pet. And definitely more involved. You get a great experience out of the box. And you'll even build a profile for your pet. So I'm gonna put in my dog's name. Super, super exciting. She's still a puppy and she's on the bigger side. So they get all of these data points to recommend a product. So if your dog is a couch potato and burning less calories, or very active, tons of zoomies, they're gonna need more calories. So my dog never stops moving, so we're gonna go there. And then preferred protein. This might sound wild to some pet owners, but as a millennial, I treat my pet like a child, so I totally get this. And I'm expecting at the end of this quiz to have a very customized offer. So RIP my inbox from doing all these again, but they offer a discount. They are thanking you for taking that 2 or 3 minutes to answer those questions. And you get the exact food based off of all the answers that I gave with an add to cart. And then just like that, I'm ready to check out. So that experience has helped them engage with their customers at a much higher rate than anything else that they've been doing. We see that people who engage with a quiz end up converting at nearly 25%, which is kind of unheard of. And not only are they converting at such a high rate because they're getting such a personalized experience and personalized product, the brand can now spend the next 3 weeks, 3 months, building out an ongoing relationship with that customer because they know everything they need to know about that dog. So I now expect that within the next couple of days, I'll get an email, thanking me for, taking a quiz, learning a bit more about my dog Maple. And then throughout time, I'll get nurtured emails about education about their product, specifically on the age and type of my dog. And I think that's super cool. And I think that's an experience that shoppers are going to come to demand the more that they rely on direct to consumer brands that aren't building those relationships in store, they're building them online. So sometimes you're Glamnetic and you have a lot of quizzes. They have a huge product line, but they also do collaborations, and sometimes they just want to have some fun, like a horoscope quiz. And all of these quizzes allow you to learn different things about your customers. So the Lash and Nail quiz is very straightforward. That's going to recommend a product. But the Hello Kitty and Friends quiz, the horoscope quiz, that's going to give you some details about the type of customer and the type of person they are. So as you introduce new products, new collaborations, you have a better understanding of what customers you've already engaged with are going to be the most interested. So all of these things create a huge buyer profile over time, to a point where you can send an email that highlights a specific question answer, and they now know that that email is personalized to them because they've supplied you that information. So what Glamnetic does is those first 2 quizzes they'll provide to their customers. The other ones will be shown to repeat customers. So they're not asking the same quiz over and over. They can tell if someone's taken a quiz already, and then won't show them the basic quiz, but we'll show them more in a more advanced quiz. Another great example, Almond Cow. If you're like me, you drink non-dairy milk alternatives, but there's so many options now. And for me, it's always been guess and check. But what if you wanted to start making it at home? And that's what Almond Cow does. They have a really cool system where you can press your own non-dairy milk, and you can choose which one that you like best. I'm an almond milk drinker. And then even down to the consistency. So if you use in milk or if you use in, cereal, different needs. They even ask diet preference. So that way, in a couple of weeks, if they want to send you recipes and you're vegan, they're not going to send you a paleo recipe because they know it's not going to be what you want.
Just a quick heads up, Ed, while you're doing that, you've got about 3 minutes left.
Yep. Perfect. Okay, so this is the last kind of example, but yeah, so they have the whole system and all the ingredients that you would want right here. Really cool experience. And now they know that I'm an almond milk drinker and I'll get emails about different almond milk recipes. So what does this look like actually in person? How do you build this? How easy is it? So I built a quick quiz for a demo store, and all it is a single question. So I want to figure out, if I have a small bakery store, I want to figure out what do I want to recommend for someone right now. So I ask a very straightforward question. Are you looking for something sweet, something seasonal, or something popular? So all of those have a rule. And if you create just a results page, and then down here, these are the 3 products, and they're only shown based off of what answer is selected first. So I had 3 products, I had 3 options. Each one correlates directly to a product. And obviously I didn't do a ton of branding on this, unfortunately, but it's really just a great opening experience with your new customers that allows you to just get that individual data point and then offer them the right product at the right time and make that purchase, that like customer journey, as flawless as possible. So yeah, I'm more than happy to dive deeper into the build and any questions that people might have about Octane AI. But for now, let me stop sharing my screen so we can get back into, there we go. There we go. Get back here. So Blair, hopefully I didn't spend too much time there.
No, you did excellent. We actually have a minute here, so I'm just we got some great questions in the chat, and those are in Discord as well. I had a really quick question for you that I think like a lot of people have confusion about. Can you walk me through the difference just really quickly between zero party and first party data? That language I think is like a bit unintuitive to a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's totally understandable and something that we get asked a lot. So first party data is data that you capture on your site. And this is things that you can see through Google Analytics. This is email addresses that you capture through a pop-up or a form app on your site. So most brands use a pop-up and they capture an email address in exchange for a discount. So that's first party data. You've captured that data, you own it. Zero party data takes that one step further, and you get that contact information, but you also get an actionable data point. So zero party data is the answer to that conversational pop-up. It's all the quiz answers. It's what product they selected on the recommendation page. So that's the big difference, is zero party data allows you to take a next step action because you know one more thing or up to 10 more things about that customer.
Makes a lot of sense. Ed, thanks so much for coming here today. Really appreciate it. Got some great comments, great questions in the chat. So hopefully you can catch up with those people.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Ed. Well, that was awesome. We're going to follow it up with another awesome one. We've got Jared from Spently. I have been a big Spently fan for years. I might even like drink the Spently Kool-Aid, so to speak. I hope I'm not stealing Jared's thunder here, but I remember talking to the Spently team years ago and them saying something that just like absolutely blew my mind. And it was that your transactional emails are the only emails that you will send that get over a 100% open rate, meaning that people open them more than once. And yet a lot of brands don't take advantage of that. And Spently is an incredible tool for helping you take advantage of all those transactional emails that you send and turning them into a marketing opportunity rather than just purely transactional. But I won't steal any more of his thunder. We've got Jarrett here, an account executive from Spently. He's going to walk us through the tool a little bit and tell us more about what they do and the problems they solve. Jarrett, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Blair, so much for those kind words and that great introduction. As much as you did hit on a great point there, but hopefully I've got a couple other arrows in my quiver as far as some unique points here to discuss. But yeah, really excited to overall just be a part of this app collective. It's a fantastic group of, awesome thought leaders in the e-commerce space and some really great apps here. So yeah, honestly honored just to be part of this. But yeah, happy to expose you all a little bit more to Spently today. And just a little bit about myself to kind of kick things off. I have been working in the e-commerce software world and kind of within Shopify for the last 5 years, and the last 2 of which being here with Spently as a growth specialist. So really getting the opportunity to help merchants really just grow the revenue and help tackle some of the problems they face every day, growing their businesses on Shopify. And as far as Spently and who we are, so really we're a Shopify app that's trusted by over 5,000 Shopify and Shopify Plus brands across 39 different countries as well to help just unlock more revenue through an untapped sales channel, which are your transactional emails. And we're really proud to say, as well as just a nice little nugget here, that throughout the course of 2020 in the global pandemic, we actually helped generate over $75 million in revenue for our different brands, which was great to see, and just helping everyone out in the Shopify ecosystem. But really the problem that we are trying to help brands with here at Spendly is the problem of helping to grow customer lifetime value and really just making the customers that you're acquiring a lot more effective and a lot more efficient for your brand. Because we all know that with constant changes to FBA and the growing cost of acquiring new customers, we really need to make sure that we're making the most out of these customers and getting them coming back for their second, third, fourth purchase. Because as much as we know, and I think Tim from Smile did a great job in his presentation last week, kind of highlighting that there's some great known channels as far as ads or social media influencers to get people on your site and making that first purchase. It can be a lot more complex and require a bit more of a varied strategy to get that customer coming back. And really with Spently, we're trying to bring to light and kind of optimize one of these really overlooked channels, which is going to be your transactional emails. So before I kind of dive into like strategies and different ways that you can grow your revenue with with this channel, I can appreciate that for some of you, this might not be as intuitive of a term in terms of like what are transactional emails. So let's quickly kind of dive into exactly, what are these emails that I'm really referring to. So hopefully you can all see my screen there. Okay. But yeah, so really at a high level, what these transactional emails are the emails that you as a business are legally required to send to your customers in order to facilitate a transaction. So they're different sort of things like, your order and shipping emails that you might be sending post-purchase, or they can be things like a customer account related email as well. Things like if someone has to, reset a password, or things like that account confirmation that'll be sent out when someone creates an account to, get their credit card data stored and their shipping details stored and all that stuff to make that checkout process just a little bit faster. And really when it comes to, running business on Shopify, one of the great benefits is that Shopify is actually going to be taking care of this all for you out of the box. So you never have to worry about manually going and, sending an order confirmation or a shipping update email. Those are all going to be already being sent on your behalf through Shopify. And they can all kind of be seen under the notifications tab within your Shopify settings here. It'll lay out those 27 different emails, whether they're order emails, shipping emails, those customer account related emails, and they're really hitting your customers at various sort of points throughout their customer lifecycle. Sometimes these are going to be, those positive situations, like, maybe a shipping update email letting a customer know that the package has arrived at their door and they can go ahead and scoop that up. Or sometimes it'll also encompass like those negative situations. Maybe you had to cancel an order because you ran out of inventory. Maybe the customers had to initiate a refund. All those different situations. But really what you want to keep in mind is that these are hitting customers at a time when they're like at their most engaged really with your brand because they've either made a purchase or there's something going on in relation to a shipment or an order here. So at this point, you might be kind of asking yourself, like, that's all great, but if Shopify is already sending these emails for me, why do I need to, make sure that I'm concerned about them or what are they important to for me? And there's a few different reasons, why you should really care about these emails. The first of which being that they offer multiple touch points with every single order. So anytime that someone comes onto your site and they make a purchase, there's going to be a bare minimum of 2 of these emails that are going to be sent out. The first of which being that order confirmation when someone makes that purchase initially. That's going to give them that details of, what did you order? What are your billing and shipping details? You can go ahead and make sure that those are correct. And then when you fulfill that order within Shopify as well, that is going to trigger that shipping confirmation, basically just to let the customer know that the shipping process is kind of started and they can expect to receive that a couple weeks down the line or whatever that is. The second reason why you should really be caring about these emails is because the open rates, as Blair kind of touched on, are incredibly high. They're a lot higher than with any sort of traditional, email marketing or newsletter that you might be sending out. And it's really not uncommon to see, open rates about 10 times higher than those traditional marketing emails, and a click rate generally about 5 or 6 times higher as well. And the real reason for that is because these are the emails that your customers actually want and expect to receive. And it really makes sense if you kind of put yourself into your customer's shoes. For example, I know that anytime that I'm basically buying something online, the first thing I do when I make that purchase is go back and check that order confirmation to make sure that my credit card details are correct, that the shipping address that I selected is correct. And then similarly, when that shipping confirmation does go out, I'm the type of person who's hammering that "where's my order" button about 100 times throughout the course of that shipment, basically tracking that poor postman's footsteps directly to my door. But yeah, because of that, we see that the open rates and the click rates are exceptionally high with these. So we just get a ton of eyeballs on these transactional emails, and it's a great opportunity to get any kind of messaging or, just promote a transaction there in those emails as well. And then the third kind of piece, as far as like why you should be concerned with these emails, is because unlike traditional sort of marketing channels, things like SMS or email marketing that do require a customer opt-in in order to send them and to get into those customers' inboxes, with these transactional emails, because you are legally required to send these emails with every order, that does bypass any of those opt-in there. And in that sense, you're able to almost reach sort of like a previously untapped audience, which are those people who have not opted into any of those alternative marketing channels. So those are the primary reasons why we find that these can be a super effective email. And the last reason as to why you should care about these is because, unfortunately, within Shopify, as we touched on, while they do send these emails for you, unfortunately, they're not necessarily geared towards driving like a positive business outcome for your business. So if I were to go ahead and preview this email, this is what a default order confirmation is going to look like. About 1 million different Shopify stores are sending this exact email anytime that someone makes a purchase. And it's great that it has, that, important nuts and bolts of the email, what was purchased, what are my shipping details and my credit card details. But unfortunately, there's nothing about this email that's particularly on brand. It's not customizable. You can't add different sort of calls to action or different just sort of engaging elements. And lastly, Shopify is unable to really provide any level of analytics or data around how people are engaging with these emails. So basically between, all those different reasons are kind of why we've decided at Spently to focus on these transactional emails and helping our brands make just a little bit better use of them overall. And just give you guys a quick sort of example, this is what that email would actually look like within sort of an email client here within Gmail. Obviously, as you can see, it's got that important information, but there's really nothing that's super engaging or makes me want to click or, get back on that site and shopping again. And this is a great opportunity to kind of highlight one of the great brands that we do work with, a cosmetics brand by the name of Nude Sticks. Some of you might be familiar. They're really great at, that cruelty-free, no animal testing. They were sort of a pioneer in that space. And the reason why they had sort of decided to reach out to Spently was because they noticed that, hey, this order confirmation email is really not a great sort of extension of my branding. And we're a very, visual, very brand focused company. And we want to make sure that all of our customer communications are on brand and that we're not sending these ugly sort of default cookie cutter emails. So they decided to go ahead and get started with Spently. And as you can see here, they did a great job of leveraging our builder to create like a really visually stunning order confirmation in this example. So you can see here kind of side by side the contrast here as far as, what they're able to include. Obviously, add those different beautiful visual elements from the site, but they can also do things like easily add a different sort of like snippet of copy about, some COVID related, protocols, things like that. Shipment might be delayed by a couple of days. So being able to kind of call that out within the copy of this email that we essentially know that everyone is going to open can really make for a great customer experience. And then also give them the tools to kind of add these different marketing tools to make this more effective at driving repeat purchases as well. So by including things like, recommended products, highlighting some things like their holiday kits, really just made them able to make the most out of these emails. And ultimately, as you can see here in the next slide, they really drove some great results with this as well. Because this is essentially throughout the course of our case study, these were the results that they were actually able to drive through the transactional emails. So from an engagement side, you can see, that unique open rate really, really high there, close to 80% at 78.2%. So we know that virtually everyone was opening this. And then you see that click rate of 157%, meaning that people are going and they're making multiple clicks throughout those emails. So whether it's on that track my order button, maybe it's on that recommended products instance, maybe they're going back to their Instagram, all sorts of different clicks are happening and people are really engaged with these emails as well. And then when it comes to a revenue and sort of like a bottom line metric, some really compelling stats here as far as like their abandoned checkout notification, for example, they were able to recover 84% of those abandoned checkouts, where people essentially got to that first page of checkout, then bounced off the site, and they were able to send that notification to include like a very modest discount there and hopefully recover more of those abandoned checkouts. And then the most compelling stat here, I think, is this $5.75 figure, which is how much revenue they were actually able to drive through every single Spendly email that they were sending. So whether that is a shipment update email, an order related email, a customer account related email, they were driving $5.75 in revenue per Spendly email that they were sending. So really effective and compelling figures there. And then just to give you a bit more of an example of kind of like a more up-to-date version of their order confirmation, you can actually see this on the Spendly.com inspiration page. We have all sorts of different brands that we power and some of the really effective templates that they've used. But you can just see here kind of at a glance some of the great things that they're highlighting, like their different sort of magnetic lip plush. And then if I scroll towards the bottom, they made a really great use of the sort of discount code feature here. Really, again, keeping all of their messaging super on brand with their hashtag go nude but better. And then even things like including, their more recommended products, as well as highlighting their Instagram page so that people can easily get back there and, follow them and just be more and more immersed with the brand. So at this time, I'll quickly kind of jump into the actual Spendly app itself and just give you an idea of how you can kind of manage these different emails and, keep everything super on brand. So if I were to, basically, if I'm creating sort of a new email set from scratch here, the first thing that I'm going to want to do is basically use these email set styles to just make sure that everything is super on brand and, really reflects the look and feel of the website. And we try and make this as easy as possible and kind of mitigate as many repeated tasks as possible. So if you want to, for example, change the background color on these emails, what you're going to notice is that if you do that within the order confirmation here, this will all be reflected across, your abandoned checkouts, your shipping emails, all those different 27 notifications, because obviously having to go into 27 different emails and modify them is going to take you a ton of time. So we try and mitigate that as much as we can. Everything else is all super simple to kind of modify as far as what the buttons look like, what are your fonts using, different things like that can all be managed through the set styles here as well. And something to keep in mind is that you can also modify the copy very easily just by kind of clicking on anywhere where there is a text component. And what we also do is give you the ability to leverage Shopify's liquid variables within here as well. So things like calling out a customer by their first name is always going to be a lot more effective at creating sort of a great customer experience rather than just saying, hey, customer. If I could say, hey, Blair, hey, Rachel, your order is on the way. That's just going to create a much better brand experience there and just kind of stick out to your customers a little bit more than, again, what the vast majority of people running their business on Shopify are sending. And then as far as, some of the other nuts and bolts of this, obviously it's all going to have that important transactional information. We're just going to put it in a little bit of a nicer box here. But really with Spendly and how we're going to help you drive revenue is going to be with the flexibility that we allow to include some different cheeky little marketing bits in here as well. So things like, let's say that maybe you have some sort of a sale running on the site right now, and maybe you just want to highlight that with a quick little promotional banner. It's just as easy as kind of plugging in a image component there, and then maybe highlighting, a spring sale, a summer sale that we have going on, hyperlink that back to the website onto that page that we want people to land. Again, super easy, just kind of highlight any of those promotions or new collections or new product launches that we have going on in, an order confirmation or shipping confirmation that virtually everyone's going to open. And then we have some great other marketing tools that are built in with our app as well. Things like those product recommendations, like we highlighted, that were really effective for nude sticks here. There's all sorts of different things that you can kind of do with this. Obviously, you can change the number of products that you're promoting. And then here we give you a lot of control over how you're going to merchandise these products as well. So if you want to just kind of set this up with some default, best-selling products, some of your top performers, you can just go ahead and leave this on the Spendly recommended product engine, and that's going to refresh every 4 hours with your most popular products. But likewise, if you also have potentially a collection that you just want to get some more eyes on, maybe you have some overstock in the warehouse, maybe you have a new collection that you just want to get some more eyes on, you can go ahead and change that collection to dynamically pull from whatever you want. But then similarly, if you want to get a little bit more granular and kind of override this with some of your own business logic, to try and make this as effective a recommendation as possible, it's really great if we can sort of promote some complementary and, cross-sell opportunities here as well. So what we can do in this case, let's say that I'm a shoe retailer and I, sell some Adidas, Yeezys or something to that effect. If I know that when people buy from that Adidas footwear collection, maybe they're not necessarily looking to jump right back in and buy another, pair of shoes because they did just drop, $300 on this pair. But maybe what they are going to be more likely to be interested in is some of those accessory products. So maybe we have some, shoe cleaner, maybe we have some shoe laces or a shoe horn that we know are going to make sense to sort of cross promote here on this collection here. What we can do is just select that corresponding collection with those accessory products that we know make sense to promote. And then that's going to dynamically change this offering and promote those most relevant products to make a really targeted recommendation, which is ultimately going to give us the best chance of getting that customer to convert.
If I can just jump in quickly here, Jared, just to let you know, we've got 3 minutes left.
Okay, no problem. Let me quickly just show you one more thing here as far as within the builder. When it comes to like the discount code that we can offer here as well, there's all sorts of different ways that you can do this. And we know that brands don't necessarily always want to discount for the sake of discounting, but we do give you a ton of different caveats that you can put on here. If you want to change the discount amount, that's obviously available. Adding something like an expiry date can be great for driving a little bit of urgency, as kind of Rachel pointed out in a previous presentation here. And then similarly, if you want to use this to try and bump up your average order value here as well, this can be a fantastic way to do this because we can motivate someone to make that purchase, with this discount, but we can add, let's say, a minimum redeemable order value here as well to try and bump up that AOV. So let's say we're currently sitting at an $80 AOV and we're looking to get a little bit closer to that $100 range. What we can do is add that minimum redeemable order amount, show a disclaimer just to let our customers know what the sort of rules are around this discount. And then that way we can, hopefully promote them to use this discount, but that's going to, have a little bit of a higher order value and just, promote all those sort of valuable metrics that we're all measuring. But that's essentially Spently's builder in a nutshell. The last thing that I'll quickly highlight is that we do give you all sorts of different analytics around how people are engaging with these emails as well. So anytime that you log into Spently, you're going to see this analytics dashboard sort of first and foremost. And what you're going to see at the top are just some great top line metrics as far as your lifetime revenue from Spently. If you're looking at a certain date range, you'll see the revenue over that certain period. And then we're going to easily at a glance sort of lay out what your top performing templates are versus your sort of not performing templates. So we can see here that the abandoned checkout is obviously performing very well, but maybe we can see that, our order canceled or order edited templates maybe could use some love, or maybe there's some strategies that we can employ to make those a bit more effective. And then just within these cards here, we'll break down that revenue a little bit further for you to show you what's coming from your, repeat purchase customers. What is your rate of repeat purchases? How are those discounts performing? Are people, redeeming them? And then things like how, the abandoned checkout is going as well. And are we able to recover, a percentage of those discounts there as well? But yeah, that's essentially Spently in a nutshell. So really, yeah, some key takeaways from this are, don't sleep on these transactional emails because they can be a sneaky effective way to get in front of a ton of eyeballs. And if you can add a couple of offers or incentive within these emails as well, it's going to make them super effective at getting that customer lifetime value up and keeping that customer coming back 2, 3, 4 forever.
Jarrett, you're incredible. You slipped in with 5 seconds left. You're brilliant on timing. I was hoping to get to Stacy's question here live. She has a question in the chat just about how Spently interacts with kind of another email marketing platform that you may be using for your non-transactional stuff. If you wanted to stick around and answer that in the chat for Stacy, I'm sure she would appreciate it, and we definitely would too. But thanks so much for coming. That was incredible.
Sure thing. Thanks for having me. And Stacy, stay tuned.
Cool. So with that, we are going to roll into our last break of the day, followed by our last 2 speakers of the day. So just as before, if you need to use the restroom, grab a snack, grab a drink, now's a great time to do that. And we will see you back here in just under 5 minutes. Thanks, everybody. For anybody just tuning in, we will be back in about 2 minutes, just taking a short break. Okay, we are just about ready to get started again. Awesome. Thanks for staying with us through this whole thing. That was our last break, leading into our last two speakers. Up first, we have Deb, the one who, if I can give her a lot of credit, kind of was one of the biggest factors in bringing this all together. She's been putting in a lot of work behind the scenes to make this all go smoothly. She is going to be talking to us about in-cart upsell, one of the apps that she works with. I think back to like early days of the App Store when I was there, upsells were like one of the most popular segments back then. And it has been crazy to see how much that space has changed and all of the crazy stuff people are doing now. In-cart upsell is a big part of that. So excited to have her here today to talk us through some of what they do. Take it away, Deb.
Thank you, Blair. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And thank you everybody for joining us today. How's everyone doing? Are you having fun? Are you learning things? What's going on here? I'd love to hear in the comments. I'd love to hear in the comments how things are going for you and if you're enjoying yourselves. But to stay on track, today I am going to be talking about in-cart upsell, a Shopify app that helps merchants just like you increase average order value through embedded upsell offers on the cart page in the Ajax cart and on the cart drawer itself. So from an agenda standpoint today, we are going to be talking about in-cart upsell, the history of it, why it even came to be in the first place. We're going to go through some product pages, some cart pages, some Ajax carts to show you how it looks in action. And then we're going to go through the back end of in-cart upsell. I'm going to show you the dashboard. We're going to create an offer, and all of this can be done without ever having to tap a development resource, which is really handy. It's great that you have a developer on hand, but us non-technical people, myself included, marketers really want to have control. And in order to keep that control, we have to have that fluidity and availability to be able to do things on our own. So let's talk about the history of in-cart upsell first. So in-cart upsell, the developer started developing the solution in 2015 because he saw a huge need out there. You're all spending all kinds of money on advertising, on Facebook ads. Don't even get us started on iOS 15. I know. But, how do you really maximize that ROAS on the post-click side and squeeze as much out of the opportunity as possible? People are already purchasing products anyway. And so why not offer them complementary products without having to dig through your store and your myriad of SKUs in order to find products that they would want to buy anyway? So in-cart upsell was born. The technology was developed with conditional logic that enables everybody to have a really seamless experience. I know I've heard some horror stories about people going to product pages or cart pages, and they get these upsells that are absolutely heinous. They make no sense to the experience whatsoever. You're buying products maybe for your dog, and you're seeing products for like your cat, or a cat, and you don't even have a cat. So it's this disjointed experience that really kind of ruins your relationship with your customer. And so we want to empower the customer, and in-cart upsell was born in the Shopify App Store in 2016. So that's a little bit of a history about in-cart upsell, why it came to be. Let's go ahead and take a look at what this looks like on product pages. Everyone excited? Want to see anything? Should we do this? All right, let's go. I'm just going to take that as yeah. All right, so the first example is a company, Antique Candle Co. Antique Candle Co. is near and dear to my heart. They're a female-owned business. They have around 60 employees. They're out of Indianapolis, and they sell candles. And so with their candles, they wanted an opportunity, you know, when you're buying expensive candles, you want an opportunity to be able to offer complementary products that really makes sense in the overall flow. And when you sell complementary products that complement the product that they're already getting, it increases your relationship with your customer base. So not only are you increasing your average order value, but you're also increasing your relationship with your customer because they're buying more of your products. So say somebody comes in as a first-time purchaser, they're buying, maybe let's go to an example, maybe they're buying this bundle, this apple butter and vanilla bean bundle for $51. They're scrolling through, they're taking a look at things, they're adding this to their cart, and oh, guess what? They see this upsell opportunity to buy something that absolutely is a no-brainer, complements the existing purchase, and something that they would want to have to increase the longevity of the product itself. You're going to cut the wick off. You're going to be able to keep the candle for longer, and it's such a low cost. Why not add that to the cart? So they're happy that you've done that for them without them having to sort of dig through all of the products that you offer. And yeah, so yay, you now have raving fans. And guess what? They're probably going to go ahead and post this on social media. They're maybe going to tell their friends. You may have some UGC content that you can use for future marketing. And, you know, it's hard enough to get a customer into your store. You may be paying a lot of money to get there in the first place, but really retaining them, that lifetime customer value is how you make money. And so giving them this experience is really helping them with that pursuit. So let's go ahead and go into the cart page. So I've got this offer. I've got the upsell that was given to me as well. And I'm super excited. So I can go ahead and check out. I've now increased my average order value by $16, and I'm quite happy to make this purchase and carry on. Okay, so that's the first example. The second example is with a company called Revival Inc. Revival Inc. sells t-shirts. They're really, really cool. And I've already gone ahead and I've put this t-shirt, this women's t-shirt in the cart. And the upsell here is in a carousel format, which is really cool. So I could scroll through this. This looks absolutely native to the page itself as well. And I could just easily add this to my cart. And it's about half the cost of what I was going to be buying originally. And oh, look, I can continue to buy more. So they're just going to keep serving me up relevant products that I likely would want to buy that would help complement this experience as it is. So again, seamless experience, really cool opportunity. I'm stoked to be a part of this with this customer. And I'm now buying a little bit more than I was going to be buying otherwise. No pop-ups, nothing that's annoying the experience whatsoever. And I'm super happy to make this purchase. Okay, so let's move on. Sorry, I think I've got like a weird tech thing happening here. Kind of the theme of today, huh? All right, so let's move on to Secret Sneaker Store. Secret Sneaker Store sells sneakers. So let's go ahead and see what they have going on here. All right, so I've got these Yeezys that I can add to my cart. So let's go ahead and add that to my cart. Let me move this over. All right, and then it pulls out an Ajax cart. So for those of you that don't know, this is what an Ajax cart looks like. Super cool because I'm on the product page. It's not interrupting anything. I don't have to click additional buttons. It's now just pulling up this opportunity for me to check out quite easily. If you're spending this kind of money on a pair of shoes, likely you're going to want it to be, from a customer standpoint, you're going to want an ease of use. Customers expect a lot more out of their shopping experiences than they've ever had before. After this past year that we've had, where people didn't even get to go into an online store, you need to wow and dazzle them with the opportunities available that you're giving. And doing things like this just makes it super easy for them to feel like you get them. You're making the flow as easy as possible for them. And then we have another carousel upsell opportunity that you can scroll through. You can quickly add something to the cart. Again, really relevant stuff. So you can add a shield, you can add a case. So maybe you're buying this as an investment and you want to display them and flex it a little bit, or you just want some kind of cover or coverage. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. And you noticed before on the last upsell offer, you could easily go through the opportunity and just keep buying more through the upsell, right? It was like a stacked offer we had, and it was just like you can continue to keep buying more. They're basically just showcasing. It's almost like a conveyor belt where they're just like showcasing more products. Like, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that. In this case, they're like, it's such a high price point. We want to keep it moving. So we're going to have you add this to the cart and you're going to check out and we're going to collect your money and we're going to move on. So just the reason why I think it's really cool that we're showcasing all of these different opportunities or ways that you can showcase cross-sell and upsell offers is to show the breadth and depth of what in-cart upsell can offer you as a merchant. You know, you're not stuck. We're not stuck to one way, shape, or form, just like us as people, us as stores. We're not a one size fits all. And so in-cart upsell knows that and is flexible with you and is able to tailor your offers to your specific needs, however you want to showcase them. All right, so let's move on to the next example here. We have Planet Love Naturals. Planet Love Naturals sells some CBD products. They have some really cool branding. Let's go ahead and let's go to the product page for this. And oh, look, we have an upsell bundle opportunity here, which is super cool. So in-cart upsell also integrates seamlessly with Shopify's native discounts. And so as you can see here, if you were to buy this bundle, which is showcasing a product that already exists within the product page that I'm looking at, you're going to get a discount. So I was originally going to buy something, or I was interested in buying something for $59.99. And now it's showing me that I can buy all of these things that super complement each other for $118. Well, I mean, duh, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I mean, it's just such a low opportunity for me. And I've now increased my average order value. And again, what I was saying before, where now I have an opportunity to really experience a lot more products from this brand, and I may become a raving fan. And then now we have an upsell. This is a stacked upsell opportunity on the cart page, and it's presented in a really cool way. So I can choose the quantity that I'm interested in. I can choose all three of these and add these to my cart if I want. I could choose one or two, absolutely fine. My choice. We can choose my own adventure. But it's really cool because it just feels like they care about me. It doesn't feel like, oh, they're trying to suck more money out of me. It feels like they're trying to make this as easy as possible for me to buy more products from them. And I'm quite happy to do so. So thank you. Thank you, Planet Love Naturals. I will become a raving fan now. All right, so let's review where we've been so far, and then we'll go into the last example on the product page before we go into the demo showcasing how to set up an offer and in-cart upsell. Okay, so the first upsell that we saw was actually on the product page. It looked super native. It looked like it belonged there. It was kind of no-brainer, very, very low price point, and it made sense to the purchase that I was already making. So quite easy to add it to my cart. Then we saw a carousel upsell on the cart on the cart page that was extremely complementary to what I was already purchasing, including the exact same size that I was already purchasing. So just easy to add that to the cart. move on, keep it moving. And then we saw the sneakers where we saw the Ajax cart pop out and we were able to add an upsell, get that sale moving and move on. And then lastly, so far we've seen the bundle upsell on the product page, and then we saw bundle upsell on the cart page. So again, couple different ways that you can approach this. There's many more that we haven't talked about today and we won't be covering today. So if you have any questions for us, our support does live chat 24/7, not 24/7, I'm making that up. They do sleep, but we do have live chat support. So definitely hit them up after this. And that is available on incartupsell.com on our site. So yeah, definitely check that out. Okay. So our last example today is, so I'm the director of marketing for InCart Upsell. As Blair alluded to in the beginning, I'm the director of marketing for 10 Shopify apps in total, one of which is Product Customizer that is going to be presenting next. So you're definitely going to want to stick around for Push Pesh to tell you a lot more about Product Customizer. But I would be absolutely remiss if I didn't flex how well Product Customizer and InCart Upsell work seamlessly together on one store. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to flex a little. All right, so let's go ahead and put this dozen of cookies into play. And then we're going to choose. So I'm going to give this as a gift to my friend Anna for her birthday, and I am going to build my own dozen. So this is Product Customizer in play where I am choosing the flavors that I want, which is quite fun. Now I'm hungry. I want the Oreo birthday blast, obviously. I want the chocolate chip. Let's see, peanut butter, naturally. And then I'll take the red velvet. And I want to maybe like write a little note to my friend here. Birthday, if I can type. And again, just kind of really going through the flexibility of Product Customizer. And then I'm going to go ahead and add that to my cart and I'm going to check out. So here we go. We're going to check out and oh, look, we have an upsell opportunity. Guess you guys couldn't see that one coming. And again, it's a low entry point here. And I'm going to go ahead and add those stickers to my cart. It's $1.25, super easy. Like, why wouldn't I add that? And again, another way that a merchant is handling this. So they're like, okay, we want to get that money into our funnel. We don't want to mess around with displaying millions of upsell opportunities. They're getting their dozen cookies. They're getting some stickers. Let's get them checked out. Let's get them going. Let's ship out those cookies to Anna for her birthday. All right. So now that we've gone through what InCart Upsell looks like in a few different ways, let's go ahead and take a look at InCart Upsell's dashboard. So you log in, this is what you're going to see. You're going to be immediately brought into some numbers. So you can look at some numbers at a glance. You can look at your all-time revenue, your offers displayed, and your offers that were added to the cart. This is a dummy environment, so obviously these numbers are not accurate or anything close to what we'd see with our customers. But yeah, this is kind of just an idea of what it would look like. And then this is like the central nervous system of the app. So you have different sections that you can go through. This is where you're going to create your offers. This is how you're going to analyze how things are going. And then this is how you're going to set up your brand guidelines or how things look. So as we saw in each of those examples, everything looks super seamless. It really looked native to the UI. It didn't look like something that was built outside of what was happening. So that's where you're going to go ahead and set that up. And all this can happen without ever needing a developer. All right.
Just a quick heads up, Deb, 3 minutes.
Perfect. That's all I have left. So let's go ahead and create an offer. Let's name this our Black Friday, Cyber Monday shirt. And then let's go ahead and add a product. So because it's our shirt campaign that we're doing for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, let's go ahead and add that. Whoa, what is that? That's another way to showcase an upsell offer. So a really cool animation that can be created to draw attention to your upsell offer. Just want to kind of put the caveat that this is definitely not something that's available out of the box. This is not something you can do as a non-technical person. You are definitely going to want to tap some development resources, but do not worry. Our our support team is ready to take your recommendations, and they'll do this for free for you. So just contact support and they'll get this made for you. No cost, no problem. Okay, and so the look and feel, so the standard stuff, you can change the call to action. You could set up some parameters here, again, making it as smart as possible. And then where you're going to display your offer. So you can pick 2 out of these 3 options on the cart page, Ajax cart, or on the product page itself, 2 or 1 of those things. And then this is where you're going to do the if-then statement. So that conditional logic that we talked about, to make sure that if I'm shopping for a women's t-shirt, I'm getting served women's relevant products that make sense to what I'm doing. So you're going to create those rules here. And then you have some more advanced options that are available where you can do some A/B testing. Don't worry, you set up the A/B test in the beginning, and the technology will automatically just start showing your offer to the winning variant. So no problems there. You set it, you forget it, and it figures it out, and Bob's your uncle. So, and then if you have, many stakeholders a part of the approval process and getting these offers up and running, maybe you have like a coordinator that creates the offer, they put it in drafts, they hand it over to the decision maker. And once the decision maker gets through with the edits and the approval, they hit publish, they hit save the offer, and we're off to making a higher conversion rate on existing purchases, because now we have upsells going out there to the public. Okay, so that's in-cart upsell in a nutshell, and I know I have to close, so I'm going to close here. This is in-cart upsell on the Shopify App Store, so you can either search for it in the search box here. You can go to this URL here. I believe we provided one in the Zoom, and then we'll provide it in other places as well. You can simply add the app, and it will be set up in a number of seconds. You don't need a developer to do this. No code is required. There's a free plan available, and there's a 30-day free trial, so it makes it super easy for you to get up and running with low friction. We are very proud that we have the 4.8 rating, and the pricing is based off of your Shopify plan. So you get to enjoy all of the great benefits as long as you're paying for the app. And when we talked about Antique Candle Co., in less than 6 months, they increased their sales by $149,000 with upsell offers, and they had over 21,000 offers that were added to their cart. So when you look at that, it's seriously a nominal fee for that kind of uplift in their conversion. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time.
You are a rock star, Deb. Thanks so much
Thank you.
for bringing the energy. I love it. No, that was incredible. And
Awesome.
You've got a hats off, Deb, from Tanvir in the chat.
Yeah.
Lots of engagement in the chat for that one. So jump in there.
Awesome.
Awesome. Cool. With that being said, it is 2 o'clock. We are headed into our last speaker of the day. As Deb alluded to, we have Pushpesh from Product Customizer. Product Customizer is really cool. It's funny. There's this very fundamental, I won't call it an issue, but limitation of Shopify, where you have this 100 variant limit on products, and people have tried to solve this in all kinds of ways. Product Customizer is, on top of many other things, a solution to that problem. For anybody who sells products with many options and many customization features, Product Customizer is an incredible solution for that problem. To talk a little bit about that problem and the solution, we've got Pushpesh. Pushpesh, take it away. Pushpesh, I believe you are muted.
Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you, Blair, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining in to hear me talk about product options in Customizer. We are a Shopify app that lets you increase the average order value and minimize the customer service hassles by overcoming the Shopify's variant limitations, as Blair just pointed out. We offer an array of options, unlimited options that lets you overcome that Shopify's variant limitations, add-on pricing, conditional logic, among others, that lets the customers buy the customized product. Customers can choose the options that they need to customize their product, and they can build the exact product that they're looking for. So, customers tend to buy more and impulsively if they know exactly what they're looking for. So, to drive home the point, we'll go through a couple of stores to see what the features of app, to see the features of our app and how it helped our merchants offer flexibility to their customers, increase their average order value in general, offer a better shopping experience for their customers, and all of that without any additional custom development overhead. Then we will look at how the app looks for you when you open it in your Shopify admin, and how easy it is to set up, the options. So let me share my screen real quick. I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
So, first we'll go off with Madison Ironwood. This is a designs, and this Madison Ironwood produces designs and unique items such as gates, posts, metal art. So here we have, personalized horse sign that the store is selling. So you see there are multiple options that a customer can select from. If you want, you can choose a bronze color. You can write you can write your name. If you want to engrave it, you can write your name on it. And by giving the customers options here, you minimize the customer service hassles. The returns. You minimize the returns. In case the customer didn't like it. Here you're giving the customer everything to give the information to you exactly how he wants it. So you can have a single text option. You can have you can have them choose the date. You can have a drop down. You can have relevant drop downs. So you see, by giving the relevant options to the customers, you see this store is kind of making sure that this is a sure shot sell, and there's almost no chance of return. So thereby saving you customer service hassles. I will move on to one more store. I'm going to give you a couple of stores. So to drive home the point exactly, to see what all our app can do with various stores. So Gigi and Olive is a bridal party gifts. Gigi and Olive sell bridal party gifts. So as you can see here, the store is selling white Rebecca linen robe. So if you go down, after you see this is all the product description of this product. So after that, you see, I give the option of selecting the size. If you want a personalization on the embroidery, just write it down. Just write a name. Which location would you like? And the USP of this app, which I would say, is that you can upcharge based on the customization. You can upcharge the customer, and the customer won't mind. If he's getting the customized product according to his liking, he won't mind spending a few bucks to get the exact product that he likes. So let's say you want the cuff to be placed horizontal, so you can choose that. If you can select the color of the thread. So you can, which font do you want. You can select the letter size, and this is a very powerful feature that we have launched, is that you can use image swatches to to offer the customers how their option look like. Let's say how would you like it? Would you like it in the shape of a bow? Would you like the in shape of heart? And when the customer sees these options, he's more likely to to buy that. So because he sees it, this the text doesn't drive home, or the text doesn't give a clear picture to the customer of how the option is going to look like on his product. But if you use image swatches, and we have seen that using image swatches, which we have launched, our stores are seeing increasing their sales, and of course in the average order value, increasing the average order value. So you see, if you have a personalized note here where you can write, if you want to gift this and you want to personalize it, write a personalized note here, you can do that. As you see, there's a lot of this store has particularly used almost all the options that are available, and of course which are left. I will cover that in when we go to the admin section. So let me just go to the go. So yeah, there is one more very powerful feature that I would like to highlight apart from the add-on pricing, and that is the conditional logic. So sometimes what happens is when you have a lot of options on your product pages, what happens is that your product page looks like a clutter. It's users won't understand where to go, and which all options they fill and which all are relevant. So what happens is let's say let me select the option. As you select the text layout as shown, it will give you options depending on this selection. So relevant to this selection, you'll be shown the options, and of course you can go ahead and fill these options. Let's say you have RSVP, you need an RSVP card with a matching envelope. Of course, just go right ahead and yes, you see you get an RSVP date. So this is one of the powerful features along with add-on pricing that is a USP of our app. And of course we are going to go into into the dashboard to see how it looks like for you. So whenever you install the app, you can install the app right here. So you can install the app right for free. You can install the app, and as soon as you install the app, we get a notification that you have installed the app, and our support team just gets right onto it and installs the relevant code for your theme, and reply back to you ASAP. So I would like to take you through some of the features, some of the features that you would encounter while using the app. So let's say you have a lot of products in your store, and you have just downloaded the app and want to filter the products as to let's say you want to filter the products according to the product type, and you want to put the options on the products of a particular type. So what you can do is just filter the products using this particular filter, and then go on and add it. So you don't have to scroll through. Let's say you have more than 1,000 products in your store, so it's cumbersome to comb through all the products and go into each product and look for the that particular product type. So this gives you the flexibility to do that right away. And let me go to a product, and let me show you what all features are, what all options do we offer. So let's say you want to write a custom, you want to have a custom name. So let me type it out here, custom name. What do you want a page label to just write an instruction to the customer, write your name, and you see here, depending on what your selection is, you can use drop down, you can use single line text, you can use a paragraph text. If you want let's say you want the customer to leave you a detailed instruction, detailed instruction on how to handle his order. You can use this. If you want the customer to upload a photo, upload a picture, using which you have to make the, let's say he wants a picture to be printed on his t-shirt. So of course you can offer this particular option for the customers to upload the picture. You can have a single checkbox, checkbox group. You can limit this as well. Let's say you want the customers to select only 3 checkboxes and maximum up to 5. So you can do that. Sometimes what happens is, let's say you are offering choices but limited to 5. Checkbox group comes handy there. You can use radio buttons. You can use a date picker. You can offer a date picker wherein customers can go and actually pick the date. It will show up in the date. Swatch picker is color swatches, and image swatch, as we just discussed earlier, wherein you can upload the images of images of how the that particular option would look like on their product. It's a very powerful feature, and it has been loved by our customers. And one more very good feature, very powerful feature that I would like to highlight is that you can save all these options as a template, and you can apply it to several products at once. So this saves you the hassle of going into the product. Let's say you have 30 options on a product, and going into each product and typing in those 30 options is, it's just cumbersome, and multiply that over 1,000 products. It's almost impossible. And this might drive your customer away, and we make it easier for you. You save it as a template and just apply it throughout your products. So this is all what I had to say. Our app is, we have a 14-day trial period with all the plans. You have the basic plan, you have the premium plan, you have the premium plus plan. Depending on your requirement, depending on why you want to use the app, you can choose the app. And you can make use of the 14-day trial period to see if it's a good fit for your store. And if it is, of course, by all means, we'll be happy to have that set up for you. So yeah, and we are available 24/7, not 24/7, but most of the time we are available on live chat support. Just hit us up with a live chat, and we will be more than happy to guide you with any setup issues, any issues you are having with the app. And yeah, thank you.
Awesome, Pushpesh. Thank you so much for that. That was incredible and a great way to cap off the day. Cool. Well, that concludes the scheduled speakers for today's webinar. Thank you everybody for coming and for engaging in the Zoom chat and the Discord as well. A reminder that if you are not in the Discord, it's there. We'll throw another link in the Zoom chat here. That is a nice hub of brands and partners talking together to solve problems for brands throughout kind of this webinar series, as well as into the future. We're hoping that that has some longevity. Wanted to remind everybody that this is just the second of 3 webinars. We are going to be doing one next week, same time, 12 Eastern, on shipping and operations. We've got some really, really great speakers lined up there. On behalf of myself, Deb, Roddy, Rish, Kaz, all of the organizing team, as well as all of our speakers this week and last week, thanks so much for joining us today, and really looking forward to seeing everybody next week. Did I miss anything, Deb? Any final things you want to say?
Nailed it. Nope. Thanks. Thank you for joining us, everybody. I hope you had fun. Yes, Stacy will receive the copies of recordings after this. We'll be emailing those out tomorrow. And there's also, if you are just dying to see the playback, we have the App Collective is on YouTube, so you can go back and take a look at it sooner rather than later. I think the beginning was kind of cut off, but after that, you should be able to see 5 out of the 6 presentations.
Incredible. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your Monday. Hope it is productive and happy, and we will see you next week.